Well, let's tell you more about Behavior Checker, and hopefully, we'll have a couple of minutes to show it to you. Several of you may have already taken the tour. Behavior Checker is a groundbreaking digital tool that instantly provides parents, professionals, everyone who is in the life of a child with evidence based strategies that help build safe, stable, nurturing relationships every day. It's based on the approach Jerry just reviewed called mindset when responding to over 150 common everyday, what we call frontline childhood behaviors, the behaviors that all healthy children end up doing at one time or another. Next slide, please. So it was developed, we developed it 10 years ago, beta tested with KU pediatricians and at KU psychology. And it all started, quite honestly, when pediatricians at KU asked us, we talk about SSNRs, but how do we help parents build them? What's the language? What are some strategies? How do we do it in the clinic with parents conveniently during a well check, for example? And then how can we give it to parents, refer them to it so that they can use it 24/7, 365? Pediatricians and their nurses were telling us that over half of their questions, it seemed to them, were about behavior. And they pointed out to us, to our surprise, maybe not yours, but they said, in medical school and nursing school, we don't get 1 minute of parent skill building. So if we had something, if we had a tool, we could standardize our answers throughout the practice, just integrate it seamlessly. So they pointed out to us that several have been using some of the books that Barbara and Jerry have written over the past, if it's okay to say, 40 years, at least a dozen books, the most recent, Discipline with Love and Limits. And what we did was we took if you looked at the table of contents of that book, you would see 100 different behaviors listed and solutions to those behaviors. So we had a beautiful start for our content for the tool Behavior Checker. And now we've got a digital tool. Go to the next slide, please. So with Behavior Checker in the clinic, in a classroom, at a mental health or early childhood education setting, delivery of evidence-based, personalized, practical, healthy behavior problem solving is standardized and seamlessly integrated into your organization's workflow and mission. Today, we're happy to say that it's used by at several what we call our home sites, by social workers, by providers, community health workers, parent educators, teachers, and yes, the parents that they serve. The parent can continue using Behavior Checker on their phone or on any digital device. And guess what? They can use it in the parking lot of Walmart. What did the doctor tell me about how to solve this tantrum that just happened in aisle 3? So it can be on their phone and easily accessed. Next slide, please. Some of the organizations I mentioned, home sites. It's used by Kansas parents as teachers throughout the state. It's used by Children's Minnesota Hospitals. KU Pediatrics is where it started, as I mentioned. Children's Mercy in Kansas City, Johnson County Mental Health Center, Cornerstones of Care, Advent Health, and others. We have tracked through Google Analytics that we get 50,000 page views so far annually. And what's interesting, many of our home sites ask us what their top 10, what the top behaviors are, which we can track home site by home site. And it's free. We're so happy to say to all of you and to that are watching and all the people who work with Telehealth Rocks. You want to go to the next slide. Thanks to Telehealth Rocks, it lives on their website, and there's a QR code that you can access. If we could jump quickly to the Behavior Checker tool. One physician has told us he doesn't let people leave the well check until and he has this poster on his wall with the QR code until they put Behavior Checker on their phone. So here, hopefully you've seen this or you'll spend some time with this. And there are several on the chat. I think we've put several URLs to get you to various pages on Behavior Checker quickly. If you go down just a little bit to the middle, you'll see Behavior Checker. So you enter the child's behavior. So in that window on the left, a quick way to identify the behavior is you can go through the list, or let's say it's a tantrum. So start typing in the word tantrum, and why don't you go down to temper tantrums, and it takes you to a page, a prescriptive page, where and it takes you through the mindset steps, right? As Jerry mentioned. So it has the related behaviors, the what to do's first, self-talk, and these are all specific. The language in these are specific to this particular behavior. So self-talk, empathy, teach, and as you please scan a little bit down the page there, you'll see there are several solutions in terms of teaching approaches. And, you know, if you know the child, you can customize some of these to the child. Maybe the parent doesn't walk away thinking about using all of these, but maybe 2 or 3 that you and the parent think might be good ones to start with this particular child. On the right, if you go up a little bit, we always have mindset there to remind you that self-talk, empathy, and teach are the first 3 steps to solving problems. And you could click on that green bar and get a deeper dive into mindset. One last word, if you want to go to the home page by clicking, you can always go back to the home page by clicking on that logo, and you can see the navigation bar across the top, where you can search all behaviors. All of them are listed there. Developmental milestones, where we give a deep dive into developmental milestones and a lot of the language from the American Academy of Pediatrics and the CDC. Our approach gives you the deep dive into mindset, research resources, so that those of you and parents who want to know what is the research about safe, stable, nurturing relationships, about toxic stress, about Behavior Checker. We have several studies that have been done on Behavior Checker that are there too. And then that last one, our foundation, if you want to know who's bringing Behavior Checker, who's the team behind Behavior Checker. I think based on time, we probably want to go back right to the QR code, or do we have another minute? I'll ask Barbara and Jerry, are there any particular parts of Behavior Checker you think several parents tell us you can see on the right, lower right there, where it says encouraging reminders. You know, we want to keep this positive. So we have a lot of encouraging reminders to reinforce parents with positive thoughts about, you know, I think there's one in there about, you know, is it too late? My child's 4. You know, should I have started this at 0 to 3? And no, it's never too late. There's a lot of sort of encouraging thoughts there that hopefully will keep people positive. If you go back to the homepage, please. And let's go back to the QR code, because I just want to be sure everybody realizes that that will take you to the Telehealth Rocks version of Behavior Checker on the QR code. There we are. And thank you to Telehealth Rocks for making this available to everybody who's watching today. And please share it with your parents, share it with your associates, and always contact us through Telehealth Rocks if you have any questions or you want to discuss any of the behaviors. And we even add behaviors from time to time. So we'd love to get your input as you use it.